Hey everybody, I'm Griffin here, and I am just on a binge. I'm in the right zone to play this game, so I'm gonna keep playing it. Oh god, it's getting too crowded in here. I'm sure the data agrees. A good neighbor is a distant neighbor. Rearrange the data cubes however you like, as long as no data cube has more than 3 neighbors. Wet. I don't even want... Sorry, I'm being really quiet because I'm just sitting here processing the best way to do this. So, we want everybody to run to a data cube. We want to make sure that the data cube doesn't have 3 neighbors. If it doesn't have 3 neighbors, we want it to be moved. Alright, we have 8 by 6. There are 48. $14. $14 by 12. So 14 plus 14 plus 11 plus 11. We could just run them all to the walls and that would succeed. There's also the possibility of just having everybody move randomly. You could just do step if where you are is a data cube, for each direction it's memory 1. If memory 1 equals a data cube, calc mem2 equals mem2 plus 1. Set mem2 equal to 0. Gotta set it first. If, after the for each, if mem2 is greater than 3, pick up step randomly set mem2 equal to 0 for each direction. I want to just copy that. If mem1 equals a data cube, mem2 mem2 plus 1 if mem2 is greater than 1, 2, 3. I was looking for 3 for whatever reason. Jump there. Otherwise, we drop it. And jump there. This is a horrible plan. Oh, right. I should probably check and make sure that everything's working. Because, like, this guy has been running around with just a thing forever. Okay, what's going on? I should try to click on the guy. This is actually working a lot better than I expected. Okay, somebody got out of the loop. How? How did you get out of the loop? I really wish their breakpoints existed. Alright, so you step. If what you have is a data cube, or if where you are is a data cube, you do this check. If not, you keep stepping randomly. Okay, that's exactly what we want. If it is, we set memory 2 to 0. For each section of memory 1, if memory 1 is a data cube, we increase memory 2, which was set to 0, by 1. If, after this loop, memory 2 is greater than 3, we pick up where we're at, because that's what we just said, it's got more than 3 neighbors. We step randomly 3 times. We then set memory 2 equal to 0. For each section of memory 1, if memory 1 is a data cube, we increase memory 2. If memory 2 is greater than 3, we jump back to stepping values. If not, we drop it and jump back to the start. So how did you escape? Okay. Which it's not. You drop it. Okay. You are in the middle of a calculation. Like, I really want just a breakpoint right here whenever something's making a check. Oh. I know what happened. They tried to put something down when they couldn't. If where you are is not a data cube. Oops. Set that to 0. Do the 4 each. Come on. No, 1 sec. This was the wrong way to do this. Alright, if where you are is a data cube, alright, we should no longer see people randomly running around trying to do math with a cube in their hand. Oh, good lord. Well. That's not ideal. All right. Reset. Beep. Pick up. And 1. Step to the nearest wall. Drop. I'm gonna hate if this works, by the way. Right. So right as we're picking it up, that's when we're gonna set mem1. This is 10. This is probably not going to work, by the way. Yeah, it's not going to work. What on earth? They're clearly gunning for a solution here that has some level of clever to it that I disagree with. Like, if you really want this, I don't know. I'm trying to think. So, we can do a couple different things here. It's an interesting thought. So, I'm thinking about trying to use the 4 each direction. If you remember, we can change the way we do this. So, if we decide to build a lattice work like this, so we could say oh, we have to have at least one. Oh, it will set one by default. So we can say go to the nearest one. I'm actually curious where this puts everyone. Right, not everybody can. Go to the nearest one. For each direction that's not these three, you can pick up memory 2. How does this work if you move? I'm actually curious. We're gonna have to see. But we're eventually gonna drop. I'll figure out how we're gonna move. Just moves it to the nearest wall. This isn't gonna work. Oh, come on. Why is an empty space on here? This isn't gonna work. Okay, I don't think this works the way I want it to. We actually have too many workers. This is the funny part. Okay, you're gonna get somewhere. He has... Okay, fine. You win, game. You win. Alright, so for each direction is bad. For each direction is annoying, and it doesn't work the way that I want it to. So if you noticed, for each after he moved was equal to a wall. So, yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Didn't work the way that I wanted it to. I was hoping... So the context... How to explain context to somebody who may or may not understand how things work. So context as we know it is, like in human terms, is the information that surrounds something. So if I say, it is good, the context of that statement is important because it lets you figure out what it is. Maybe I was talking about some food on the table. or we're having a conversation about what we had for dinner. We ate pizza for dinner. It was good. Or it is good. That it requires the context in order to determine what you get out of it. This for each direction, and as you say, context in terms of coding languages is actually very, very similar. So when we follow this one man, he steps to memory 4. The context of this for each direction is basically where he is. So that's a spot, that's a spot, that's a spot. Great. Right? Like, great. This is a 5, that's like that context exists. And like the world as this exists, the memory addresses, all those things exist as context. And context can change. So in a lot of coding languages, loops, such as this for each direction, loops context it's very important. A lot of the times you're looping through specific things as a snapshot. So you can think about it like a grocery list, where the upper left corner is the first thing on the list, and you go around, and the thing to the left is the last thing on the list, because it goes clockwise. That's how this loop is going. So basically, your process, instead of calling it for each direction, we can call it for each item. For each item on the list, you will do this thing. And so you look, first one's milk, eggs, cheese, bread, and the loop probably looks like something like, you know, memory 2 equals nearest mem 1. Obviously we can't do something like that, but it'll like, oh, where's the closest cheese? Go pick it up, drop it in your cart, loop back, it goes to the next item on the list. The thing here is part of this is changing. By moving somewhere, we have messed with things. We have changed the context for this loop. Now, depending on the language or what you're doing, the context might not change. If one of these things is cross out, you know, current thing in list, that is changing the list. But sometimes it doesn't actually matter what you're doing, because where you're moving, when it looks at the next direction, it is literally looking at where you are and then there. It's not saying, when this loop was started, this is where we were, so I'm going to keep following this loop no matter where you are when we hit this for each direction. Instead, it's saying, we finished that loop in the for each direction, I now look at exactly where I am. So that's the thing. Or that's the case. And therefore, it's annoying. It is unfortunate, because that means that this is now significantly harder. Because it means we can't sit and approach things. It means that I am actually not a very big fan of this. What were the optional optimizations? 10 or fewer commands. Oh gosh, that actually opens a link on oh gosh, it opened up Chrome. 10 commands. So one of them is definitely nearest data cube. That's the only reasonable way to travel here. Actually, I guess that's not entirely true. I don't know. See, this seems wrong. This whole thing seems like it has to be random. We want to start somewhere. We want to start with them all. I just don't like this one. This is bad. Rearrange the data cubes however you like, so long as no data cube has more than 3 neighbors. So what you can do... They really need a furthest data cube. So we're going to say that the only 3 spaces, if mem2 is a data cube, we're going to pick it up. We're going to move randomly. This is literally the best that I can do. This is really bad because people just get stuck where they're standing because of nearest data cube. Jesus Christ. We got one of the optimizations, okay? The reason why this is bad is because this is bad. This is really bad. It involves a whole bunch of random stepping and all sorts of other random crap. So if we want to do time optimization, we're going to a different tab. I do like this exists, by the way, because it actually saves your work. So you can have like a solution, one optimization, the other optimization. That would be the smart way to do it. They should really point those tabs out. Maybe they did, and I just rushed through it because I figured I knew what was going on. Anyway. So if we want to optimize, the way we do this is we go... mem1 equals the nearest data cube. Everybody go to your nearest data cube. And what we are going to do is we are going to defend it. So if where you are is in fact a data cube, I don't like this. This seems dumb. I actually think it's really smart. Because then the closest data cube isn't where you are. I don't know if that's going to work. Alright, so. Same thing. For each direction. See, I just really don't like that. I really wish that it had been 4 neighbors, because then you could actually build a lattice work. This requires bad things to happen. I already don't like what we're doing here. Like, I already don't like it. I've got a better plan. Alright. Mem1 is the nearest wall. Mem2 is the nearest data cube. But, you know, we don't need to do that yet. Sorry, I keep doing the same thing. Step to memory 1 and pick it up. Mem2 is the nearest wall. Step to Mem2. If where you are is nothing, drop. Actually, we should do, if it isn't nothing, do something else. If it's not nothing, if that way is the wall, and that way is not a wall, step right. That makes sense. Step right. Yes. And that is going to loop. Else, we don't actually have to else. If to your right is a wall and above you is not a wall, step up. You can see where this is going. If right. I'm just thinking about the repercussions of what we're doing. Actually, we can use the else to our advantage here. So basically people are going to run around the center and then drop. Then, if to your left is a wall, one, two. Basically, we're trying to get them back to the center. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is how many we want. 3, 4, no, 5, 6. We could do something silly. And I'm considering it, but it doesn't matter. Else, if that is a wall, step 1. This is an easier way to do it. Crap. Now these aren't singular, that actually creates a problem. So above you is a wall. 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four. One more. This just is gonna take its sweet time. To the window, to the wall. I hate this game a lot sometimes. Oh god, I'm gonna make bad decisions, aren't I? Oh god, I could make him randomly step left or right. Oh god. Well, I can also go step to mem 2. Mem 3 is in fact free. If mem 3 is a wall, go there. This is a problem. Because these guys can't get to where they need to go. He literally, he can't step because of this bullshit. I can't do this. Alright, so go pick up the nearest data cube. Okay, I have to do the thing that I didn't want to do. I have to do the thing I didn't want to do. No, because it doesn't work. Ah! I can't set it to a location. Crap. Alright, I instead have to do like a spiral pattern. I really don't like where we're at right now. Like, I really don't like this. This is really annoying and I hate it. Because this isn't how you would organize your fucking workers. In real code, you don't just have like, oh god, I need to get something to the right place. No, you have all the places where things are. Like the workers trotting down the row would be a beautiful plan. Obviously, they can't do that because the solution is super obvious. That's a thought. Okay. That's a thought. So the thought that I'm having, and I'm trying to figure out how I would actually implement. Oh god, it's time to end the episode. That I would try and implement is basically finding a pattern that we want to clear out. Like, basically, we want to clear out every other row. We really just want to get rid of this, don't we? If that's gone, then everything's valid. That's dumb. Anyway, that's going to be what I do next episode. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I will see you next time. And until then, keep your gears turning.